The USA Parliament. Separation of powers. The heart of the USA Constitution is the separation of powers, a term coined by the French political system. The power is spread between three institutions of the state: the executive, which is composed by president and cabinet; the legislature, composed by Congress; the judiciary, the Supreme Court and federal circuits. Nobody has more power than the other, and no one can be a member of more than one institution. Congress. The American Parliament, said also Congress, is a bicameral system, divided in House of Representatives and Senate. The House and Senate are often referred to by the media as Capitol Hill, or simply the Hill. Once the primary forum for political debate was the House of Representatives. But then that changed, and the Senate became the dominant body. The House of Representatives. To be a member of the House, one has to be at least 25 years old, have been a USA citizen for at least 7 years, live in the state which one represents. Districts. The states are divided into 435 congressional districts. Each district elects at least one representative to the House for a 2-year term. Every 10 years there is a census to let the Congress decide the distribution of House seats. Elections. Elections are always held on the first Tuesday in November. If a member of the House dies or resigns, there will be a special election to fill the vacancy. The Speaker. The Speaker of the House, chosen by the majority party, has a lot of power. He or she presides over the House and sets the agenda, assigns legislation to committees, and chooses whether and how a bill reaches the floor of the chamber. Powers of the House. The House can choose the President if the Electoral College is tied. The House has a key role in any impeachment proceedings against the President or Vice President. The House has the power to declare war. The last time this happened was in 1941. The House can start and pass legislation, but the Senate has to allow to every law. Part of Congress' exercise of legislative authority is the establishment of an annual budget for the government. Congress levies taxes and tariffs to provide funding for essential government services. If enough money cannot be raised to fund the government, then Congress may also authorize borrowing to make up the difference. The House must introduce any bills for the purpose of raising revenue. Both chambers of Congress have extensive investigative powers.
The Senate. The Senate is the dominant chamber of the Congress and consists of 100 members, and every member represents a state serving for 6 years. 1/3 of the Senate stands for election every 2 years. There are 50 states in America, and every state has 2 senators. It doesn't matter how big the state is. The Vice President of the United States is the President of the Senate. Conditions. To become a senator, you have to be at least 30 years old, have been a US citizen for at least 9 years, live in the state you represent. The activities of the Senate are controlled by the majority party. Powers of the Senate. The Senate can initiate and pass a legislation, but each chamber have to approve the legislation to let it become a law. It must give advice and consent to many important presidential appointments, such as those of cabinet members, ambassadors, and judges of the Supreme Court. It also has the responsibility of ratifying treaties. The Senate, and the House of Representatives too, has the key role in an impeachment proceeding against the President or Vice President. With the House of Representatives, they have the power to declare war. The most powerful position is the majority leader. but he is less powerful than the Speaker. Joint session. They congregate at the United States Capitol. The legislative process. The first step is the introduction of a bill to Congress. Anyone can write it, but only members of Congress can introduce legislation. Some important bills are introduced as the request of the President. A bill is first considered in a subcommittee, and if the members of this committee agree, it is reported to the full committee. If the full committee votes to approve the bill, it is reported to the House or Senate. The House has a very structured debate process. How a bill becomes law. A bill must pass both houses of Congress before it goes to the President for consideration. To bring the bill into alignment, a conference committee is convened. The members of the committee produce a conference report, intended as the final version of the bill. Then, each chamber votes again to approve the conference report. The final text is presented to the Speaker of the House and the President of the Senate for their signatures. Then the bill is sent to the President. The President can agree with the bill and he or she may sign it into law or veto it. The Congress may override the veto with a 2/3 vote of each chamber, at which point the bill becomes law and is binding.